She was the most famous woman in the world, adored by millions, a princess, a mother, a symbol of hope. But in her final hours, surrounded by the city of lights, she was more alone than ever. A name whispered across continents, a face that graced 1,000 magazine covers. Yet, behind the fairy tale, a shadow lingered. A shadow that would follow her until the very end. The story of her life captivated the world, but the story of her death left it in stunned silence. This is the truth about Princess Diana's final hours. The world adored her, the cameras hunted her. From the moment she stepped into the royal spotlight, Diana's life was no longer her own. Every smile, every tear, every private moment became public property. She was chased, photographed, and scrutinized with a relentless, suffocating intensity. The flashbulbs became a constant, blinding presence, a chorus of clicks that followed her every move. They called her the people's princess, yet the people's gaze left her with no place to hide. She navigated a labyrinth of protocol and expectation, all while battling a personal storm the world could only guess at. The weight of the crown was heavy, but the weight of the cameras was crushing. Fame was her prison, and the photographers were her guards. She longed for an ordinary life, a moment of peace, but the world demanded its princess, and the press was there to deliver her, piece by piece, headline by headline. She was trapped in a golden cage, and the walls were closing in. Her last day began under the warm Parisian sun, a fleeting moment of calm before the storm. August 30th, 1997, Paris was supposed to be a romantic escape, a brief respite with doughty fade, but the sanctuary they sought was an illusion. From the moment they arrived, the hunt was on. A swarm of paparazzi, on motorcycles and in cars, descended upon them, turning their private getaway into a public spectacle. They were besieged at the Ritz Hotel, their every move tracked, their every plan thwarted. Dinner reservations were canceled, quiet strolls made impossible. The air in their hotel suite grew thick with tension and a sense of impending dread. Desperate for a few hours of privacy, a plan was hatched: a decoy car sent from the front entrance, while Diana and Dodi would slip out the back. It was a strategy born of desperation, a final, frantic attempt to escape the unblinking eye of the media. They just wanted to be free, if only for one night. The plan was set in motion just after midnight. A decoy vehicle left the front of the Ritz, drawing away a portion of the waiting press. Moments later, Diana, Dodi, their bodyguard Trevor Rees-Jones, and driver Henry Paul slipped into a black Mercedes S180, disappearing into the Parisian night through a rear exit. But the escape was short-lived. A handful of the most determined paparazzi, alerted to the switch, were already in pursuit. The quiet streets of Paris transformed into a high-speed chase. Motorcycles weaved through late-night traffic, their engines roaring, camera flashes firing like weapons in the dark. Inside the car, the feeling was not one of escape, but of being hunted. The city lights blurred into streaks, a tunnel of fear closing in around them. They sped along the Seine, heading towards the Pont de l'Alma tunnel, a dark passage that promised a path away from their pursuers. But they were not heading towards freedom. They were racing towards destiny. They followed her everywhere, even here. What happened next changed the world forever. In the cold, concrete confines of the Pont de l'Alma tunnel, the chase reached its tragic conclusion. At an estimated speed of over 60 miles per hour, the driver lost control. The sound of screeching tires echoed against the tunnel walls, followed by a violent, catastrophic impact. A moment of deafening silence, then chaos. In the immediate aftermath, there was only darkness, confusion, and the eerie, intermittent pulse of camera flashes from the very paparazzi who had been in pursuit. The world outside was oblivious, sleeping soundly as a tragedy unfolded beneath the streets of Paris. A life that had shone so brightly for so many was now fading in the wreckage. The princess, who had touched millions of hearts, lay critically injured, her fight for life just beginning. The first responders arrived to a scene of utter devastation. Their quiet, professional efforts were a stark contrast to the frenzy that had led to this moment. Amid the twisted metal and shattered glass, they worked tirelessly, fighting against the clock. Diana was alive, but her injuries were catastrophic. After being carefully extracted from the wreckage, she was rushed to the Pitié-Salpêtrière hospital. For hours, surgeons fought to save her, a desperate battle against immense internal bleeding. The news began to trickle out. first as fragmented reports, then as a wave of shock that washed over the globe. In the sterile, quiet corridors of the hospital, the world held its breath, praying for a miracle. But despite every heroic effort, her internal injuries were too severe. At 4 a.m, Paris time, the fight was over. The heart that had given so much love to the world had stopped beating. She was gone. The news of her death sent shockwaves across the planet. Disbelief turned to grief, and grief turned to questions. How could this have happened? Who was to blame? A complex and far-reaching investigation was launched, spanning both France and Britain. Every detail of that fateful night was scrutinized: the driver's condition, the speed of the vehicle, the condition of the car itself, and, most contentiously, the role of the pursuing paparazzi. Official reports were compiled, witnesses were interviewed, and theories abounded. Some pointed to a reckless driver, others to the aggressive photographers who turned a drive into a deadly chase. Conspiracy theories flourished, fueled by a public desperate to make sense of a senseless tragedy. The investigation concluded that the crash was caused by the driver, who was under the influence and driving at excessive speed to elude the paparazzi. But for many, the verdict felt incomplete. The questions spread faster than answers, leaving a wound in the public consciousness that has never fully healed. In the days that followed, an unprecedented wave of mourning swept the globe. Millions wept for a woman they had never met, but felt they knew intimately. She was more than a princess. She was a sister, a friend, a beacon of compassion. Makeshift shrines appeared overnight. A sea of flowers, candles, and handwritten notes flooded the gates of Kensington Palace, a silent, powerful testament to the love she had inspired. People from all walks of life stood side by side, united in their shared sorrow. They cried for the loss of her light, her warmth, her fearless humanity. They cried for her two young sons, now left without their mother. Her funeral was watched by billions, a global congregation sharing in a collective heartbreak. The world had lost its Queen of Hearts. For many, she was hope itself. Her final hours broke the world. But her life changed it forever. The tragedy of her death cast a long shadow, but it could not extinguish the light of her legacy. Diana redefined what it meant to be a royal, using her platform not for privilege, but for purpose. She walked through minefields, embraced AIDS patients when others turned away, and championed the vulnerable with a courage that inspired a generation. She showed the world that true royalty lies in compassion, not in a crown. Today, her spirit lives on through her sons, who continue her humanitarian work, and in the countless lives she touched. She remains a timeless icon of grace, rebellion, and profound empathy. Her story is a reminder that one life, lived with love, can indeed change the world. Princess Diana, forever in our hearts.